Hello students and anyone else who may be watching from home. My name is Mr. Borges and we're here in TinkerCAD and we're going to work on our next lesson that's scale, copy, and paste. That comes right after the one we did where we made a hole in the wrench, which was the video that we just finished up. Okay, so for this one here, when they say by scale, what we mean is we're going to be changing, right, shrinking and growing shapes. We're going to be copying shapes, making more of them, so we don't have to start all over, and pasting them, right? Sticking the ones that we copied in different places, right? Ideas that you're probably pretty familiar with already, but we're going to learn how to do that in TinkerCAD. So let's go ahead and read this here, right? Reading the directions is super important. I'm trying to help you make good habits here. So scale, copy, and paste. In this project, you will learn how to drag, scale, and copy, paste shapes on your work plane. That's this graph paper looking thing over here. We call it the work plane. So we're starting with the blank work plane for this project. So here we go. Click on to the next page. It says add shapes to the work plane. This lesson walks you through the shapes to scale shapes on the work plane, through the steps to scale shapes on the work plane. Right, so we've got a target there, it's right there. Instructions. Begin by finding the orange cylinder. Oh, that's right here, that wasn't too hard. In the basic shapes list, and on the right side of the browser, under basic shapes. If you're not seeing it there, it's possible that it looks like a little arrow like this that you might have to pop open. If you're in any other area besides basic shapes, you might never find it. You might have to click on this and go back to basic shapes. You may have to scroll up or down depending on how zoomed out your view is on your device. Okay, so we're gonna get this out. Gonna stick it there. Yeah, I could have done a better job, but I'm just going to use the arrow keys to give this a little nudge to where I want it to be. Looks good to me. And, right, we're going to drop it in the area outlined in orange. There we go. Continue on to the next step. So let's try that one more time. We're going to go ahead and add another cylinder to the work plane. So we're going to repeat the process again by dragging another orange cylinder onto the work plane. In the next area, they've given us another target over here. We're going to need another cylinder. We're not moving this one. I had a kid last year he was confused about that all the time. He's just like, okay, I know I did it. Right, now we're supposed to have two now, right? We're going to read the directions here, right? It says we're going to do it one more time. We're getting another one out. So I'm going to undo. I made a mistake. There's this undo button right here. By clicking this, I can undo, and that's where we were before. And then now we're ready to repeat the process again by dragging another orange cylinder onto the work plane. Okay, grab another orange cylinder onto the work plane. And I got it pretty close, but I'm just going to give it a little nudge with my arrow key. There we go. Continue on to the next step. Easy peasy. So, scale the cylinder. Now, here's the fun part. You're going to scale the orange cylinder you just dragged onto the work plane to have a height of 15 millimeters. We're trying to be precise, right? We're not just shrinking it. We're not just making it smaller. We have a specific goal. We want this cylinder to have a height of 15 millimeters. It doesn't right now. What is its current height? We can click on it and see, right? So this square going around the base of the cylinder, and then from the center all the way up to the top, we have this other one. By hovering over this handle right here, we can see that the height of that cylinder, and it might be easier to understand from a different view, that the height of the cylinder there is 20 right now, 20 millimeters. Right? We can drag on this white dot, the top of the shape, and drag it down to make the shape what we wanted, 15. Now, we can just let go. There you have it. Now, sometimes that's tricky. Depending on what you're doing, you're like, boy, you know, if your mouse is too sensitive or something else is going to drive you crazy getting it exactly at 15. If you're having trouble with that, what you can do is you can just click on this white dot. When this number shows up over here, you can click over here and just type the number. You can type the number 15 in here and hit enter. And it'll do it for you, right? Hey, sometimes it's tricky to get it exactly 15, so you have that as an option. Alrighty, so you've got that. We're going to continue on to the next step. Copy and paste the last shape. Let's add one more cylinder. We're not moving the old cylinders, you guys. So one more cylinder, pull it out. I think I got it on target that time without needing to nudge it, but it's no big deal. Nudge it if you need to with the arrow keys. Okay, select the cylinder you want to copy. Oh, we're supposed to be copying. Oh, here. Let's follow the directions. Okay, so I just used the delete key on the keyboard. So we're going to select the cylinder we want to copy. It doesn't matter which one you want. Okay, let's just pick one. and then we're going to learn to copy. We're learning about copying, right? So let's just go ahead and learn about how to do a copy. So we're going to press Control-C on the keyboard. Control-C, right? That's if you have a Windows computer. If you're working on a Mac computer, you're going to push Command-C to do a copy, C for copy, right? Then you're going to press Control-V on your keyboard if you're using a Windows computer, or it's going to be Command-V to paste onto the work plane. So I'm going to type Control-V. There we go. So I pasted my shape, and now we're going to drag it, or I can use the arrow keys to nudge it over to where I wanted it to be. And that's how we do copy, and that's how we do paste. Continue on to the next step. Now we're going to scale this last cylinder. It's supposed to be 10 millimeters tall. So we're going to click and drag the white dot on the top of the shape. That's this one right here. So we can see it's 20 millimeters tall right now. We're going to scale it so that it is 10 millimeters tall. Now, if you're having no trouble getting it to 10 millimeters, that's fine. Go ahead and just get it in there. Dial it at 10 millimeters. If you're having trouble with that, and it's bouncing around in 9 to 11 and driving you crazy, you can always just select your object and just click that dot one time, and it'll give you a chance to type in the number that you want. In this case, 10 millimeters. There we go. You did it. So we're going to go ahead and continue on to the next step. It's going to throw confetti. That does not mean you've done it correctly. You could have your scaling all messed up, your positions all messed up, the wrong shapes. You could have just done nothing at all, and it's still going to throw confetti on the last shape. So at this point, please raise your hand. I'll come around and take a look at your project and make sure everything looks the way that it's supposed to. I'll give you the thumbs up, and you can move right on to the next project. If there's anything wrong with it, we'll fix it together, and then it'll be perfect. It's no big deal. Just raise your hand, and I'll come around. All right. What you should see, though, looks just like the one that we did together, or this example that's over here. You can always click on these examples. Make sure it looks right, because that's what I'm going to do. If you call me over, I'm going to come over and take a look, and I'm going to say, hey, does this look like this? And if something's goofed up, if these are in the wrong position, if you haven't done a very careful job, if these are like the wrong height, or you didn't adjust anything that's like goofy or whatever else, I'm going to ask you to fix it. Don't be surprised about that. So, right, take a look at it yourself. Make sure it looks the way that it's supposed to. And if it does, call me on over. Or if you need help, call me on over. Alrighty, folks, that's it for this one. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.